Alrighty, we are testing the load times for GameCube now, because I already did the ones for PlayStation 2, and the results are in. PlayStation 2 sucks. It loses close to 2 minutes compared to the Wii. Now I need to find the GameCube load times so that I can compare to the Wii, because supposedly Ultra told me that somebody told him that the Wii only saves around 4 seconds, which I'm almost certain is complete BS, because just 2 levels alone, Chancellor and Invasion of Naboo, those two, Chancellor is 2 seconds faster on Wii, and Invasion of Naboo is 1 second faster, so that's already 3 seconds. So unless there are levels on the game that are faster loading on the GameCube than on the Wii, which I find unlikely, then yeah, I'm guessing there's going to be about a 30-second difference between GameCube and Wii. That's just my guess. Obviously we're gonna see if that's accurate or not, but that's just my prediction. Negotiations is super long, and really the only reason that load times for negotiations matters is for individual levels, because it's not counted in any percent run, because timing starts when you gain control, not when you start. Yeah, I'm guessing about 30 seconds over the course of a run. Maybe. Because there's 12 plus 5 is like 17 levels. So if there's a 2-second time save per level on average, that's 30 seconds. It might be a little bit less than 30 seconds, but it's definitely going to be more significant than 4 seconds. I'm almost certain of that. We'll know for sure in probably less than half an hour, when I've got, actually it'll probably be more like an hour from the time that I'm recording this, because I have to record it and then I have to upload it to YouTube, and then I have to go back and go frame by frame to see how long it is, and then I need to put that in the spreadsheet, so it'll probably be about an hour, which isn't bad. This video is going to be like 20 minutes long. Alrighty. Yeah, the only reason the negotiations matters is for individual levels, but I think it's still important to have that. Especially since my ultimate goal with this data is to, at least for individual levels, have the rules changed so that it's time without loads, because loads being in the individual level is stupid. At least in my opinion, you know. I can understand not doing time without loads at any percent, just because, you know, that's difficult to do. You'd have to go in post-run and cut out everything, and everything would have to be frame perfect, because if it wasn't, people would complain. And I understand this is a workload on the moderators, but for individual levels at least, I don't think it would be hard to decide like what frame timing starts on and what frame it ends on. For example, the way that I would have it set up is that timing starts on the last frame of the cutscene, or the first frame of the wipe animation would work too, and then timing would end probably the first frame of the cutscene that's after the end of whatever level. That's just my idea. This commentary's kind of pointless because nobody actually cares. No one's gonna watch this video. This is being uploaded purely so that I can use the YouTube player to go frame by frame. This cutscene is really long. Let's see, on the Wii, this is 1 minute, 14 seconds is the length of this to the end of the cutscene, so we'll see how that compares here. So yeah, there's close to 2 seconds just there, yeah. And I mean, 2 seconds isn't a ton, but in an individual level it matters a lot, obviously, because I mean, in a run that's like just a handful of minutes long, 1 or 2 seconds that you can't possibly make up over the record because of your platform is kind of a big deal. And then for any percent, it kind of matters too, because I mean, over the course of a run, 30 seconds is fairly significant. And it just depends on how the community feels about having to purchase specific hardware in order to be competitive at the game. I mean, going out and buying a GameCube is not exactly, like, to be faster is not exactly cheap. I mean, PlayStation 2 is like less than 2 minutes slower, rather, than the GameCube or the Wii. It's probably about 1.5 minutes slower than the Wii, or no, it's probably about 1.5 minutes slower than the GameCube, rather. And then I went out and bought a GameCube. It cost me probably, I think it was like $120 total. And some of that's just because, you know, I bought it in person and not online. I could have got it probably for 70-ish altogether on eBay. But I felt like supporting local business that day. But, I mean, for me, it was worth it, I guess, because I'm going to use the GameCube for more than just LEGO Star Wars. Primarily, I'm going to get a Game Boy player for it, and use it to run Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance games. But it just depends on how the community feels about being expected. Like, if you play on PlayStation 2, if you want to be good at the game, you have to spend like $100 to go get a GameCube to save that 1.5 minutes or whatever so that you can be competitive. I mean, personally, I think that's silly that if somebody doesn't have $100 to spare for a GameCube to run one game, that they're ineligible to be competitive. I think that's stupid. But obviously I don't get to make all the rules. It's a community thing, but I think that most people in the community would agree, or at least wouldn't disagree, that it's silly to be expected to go out and spend $100 in order to shave off 1 minute in your any percent run, or just a couple seconds in your individual level runs. I think that's silly. Okay, so this one, Droid Factory, on the Wii is, let's see, it's 2-2. It's about 1 minute and 20 seconds. It's 1 minute and 19 seconds almost exactly is when the cutscene ends. So this level is about a second slower as well. And like I said, a second per level doesn't seem significant, but over the course of the run, that's like 20 seconds. If every level was only 1 second different. And in an individual level run, obviously that second's going to matter a lot. More in some levels than others. For example, Jedi Battle, it's not going to matter a lot, just because the execution is so variable. But in levels like an Invasion of Naboo, which are very linear and very difficult to mess up, that second of time save is going to basically secure yourself as world record if no one else has the platform that you're on. I guess it's not quite as big of a deal as long as Wii is better than GameCube, because Wii's are significantly cheaper than GameCubes, at least for right now, I'm pretty sure. And if it is faster, then it's not as big of a deal. But getting a Wii in this game for GameCube, the game's like $10. The Wii's probably, I don't know what a Wii goes for, maybe $30, $40. I'd have to look it up to be sure, but you know. But then you have to ask yourself, where's the line? What is the maximum amount of quote-unquote required money that we can allow to be quote-unquote required before it's unfair? Okay. Da-da, da-da. Alright, so this one ends at about 33.5, and ooh, that's a big one. That's a 2-second difference between GameCube and Wii. That's one of the bigger ones. So I don't think it'll be quite 30 seconds. I think it'll be closer to 20. 20 is probably more realistic as an estimate. But it's still fairly significant, especially once you get like top tier. I mean, it doesn't matter right now because you can get a 102 is definitely possible. Ultra's been on 102 pace before, and the world record's only a 104, so it's not as big of a deal yet, being competitive. Because if you're good at the game, you could get world record on PS2 if you really wanted to. Actually, no, you probably couldn't, because 102 is a high 102 and the 104 is a low, so really there's only about a minute of difference, a minute of save over world record that I know of. So you actually wouldn't be able to get world record on PlayStation 2, I don't think. I don't think that would be possible. Okay. There's Grievous, just 3 more levels and then we're done with the timing. Nope, not free play. Alrighty. And then I can start retiming them. Okay. Two more. Ruin of the Jedi and Darth Vader. Alrighty. And one more. And then this video is over and I get to go play on YouTube and with a spreadsheet for a little bit. So my official estimate, I think there's going to be over 15 seconds of time save between the Wii and the GameCube. Maybe 20. It'll for sure be over 15 seconds, because I don't think there's any levels where there's less than a 1 second time save. At least not that I've seen yet. Obviously that'll be tested, but I'm pretty sure that there's going to be at least a 20-second difference. Probably closer to 30. I would bet 25 is probably around where it's at. So I guess we'll see.